I'm here at Vato. We're going to go over one of the most underused, underrated, effective strikes in all of martial arts, including, but not limited to, MMA. This strike works for the street. We tweak it just a little bit. Works for kickboxing, tweak it just a little bit. Works for boxing, tweak it a little more. And MMA. So let me, it's the jab. All right, and we do not see enough jabs. You can knock someone out with a jab, very seldom, and that's not the goal of a jab, even though it does happen sometimes if all things align. But you don't throw the jab to knock someone out, right? Just like you don't throw the hook just to set something else up. You throw it to knock someone out. You throw the overhand right to knock someone out, okay? The jab, you throw it to set things up, create your distance, create angles, and to try to set up an opening, okay? It's like you're creating an opening. So like for MMA, because they have MMA gloves instead of boxing gloves, you can do a lot more damage with like a rock. Think of yourself holding a rock and now putting it in their face really hard. That's what you want to think of with this MMA gloves, or even bare-fisted. Okay? In boxing, they're more cushion, and it's more for points and for snapping their head back, where in MMA, it's more for hurting them and cutting them. You won't necessarily knock them out, but you can hurt them and cut them a lot more in MMA than you can in boxing, because there's so much less padding. All right. So with an MMA, with MMA, unlike boxing, boxing is just a lot of like, they just want to stick it out there and get the head moving and then find an opening. Okay. But with MMA, as opposed to boxing, you kind of want to hurt them too. You don't want to wind up, because you can't throw it that hard because your hip is forward. It would be like throwing a ball without putting your hip back, right? You're never going to throw it very far like that. And you're never going to hit anybody very hard like this. But you can hit him hard enough to cut him, to break his nose, to hurt his eyes, to cut his eyes and get blood in his eyes. Or if he moves in while you're throwing it, you could potentially knock them out, okay? But what you want to think of when you're throwing it is not telegraphing. Just hit him with that rock over and over and over again, okay? Just keep hitting him, and that will cumulatively cause some damage where you can capitalize on when he's bleeding into his eyes, or maybe he's a little bit wobbled, all right? A couple things to remember. Always keep your hand here while you're jabbing. Not here, here, okay? So I want to jab like this. Another thing to think of is the most common way to get knocked out is if I drop it coming back, he's going to hit me with a right hand and knock me out cold. So you always want to keep this hand here, keep your hand up, and then bring it right back. So if he throws an overhand, my hand's already up. So it looks more like this, okay? So that would be an MMA jab. Okay, not as much snapping, a little more power to it, but don't wind up, because then you'll telegraph and you'll open yourself up for a counter, all right? So that is the MMA jab. Use it, and you can use it to close the distance. So if I throw it, I can close the distance. For a shot, I can close the distance. For a knee, or I can create more distance with it. It's up to you, all right? Distance is king. So to help you impose your will, start using that jab more. All right? Thanks for coming, guys.
Comment, subscribe, share.
Comment, subscribe. Like. Email, text, tweet, Instagram, message me. See you later.